Hi, can I get a sausage and egg meal? Large coffee, double, please. Okay. And some ketchup too, please.
For sure. I'll take grab for you.
That would be fine, thank you.
Alright, they're going to be 7:35 second window.
Thank you.
How are you going?
So here I am on the road again. 13 hours plus, including breaks and fuel ups, on my way to Fort St. John, British Columbia. Here we are in West Bank, or West Kelowna. And I'm going through the drive-thru for a breakfast of champions at my local McDonald's. Well, not my local, but...
Hello.
Hi there.
35 for you. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
You too.
Okay.
I would prefer to sit inside the place to eat, but unfortunately, with the way things are, I'm not a big fan of eating in a car because crumbs get everywhere, chances of spillage, and it's hard to clean up. Mind you, leather's pretty easy to wipe down, but I guess it's just leftover fears from my old cloth interior days. Nevertheless. Excellent, thank you. And it is what it is. So the plan is we'll set the satellite navigation up, see what's the what. See what it says for how long it's going to take to get up there, and you know, stuff like that. Find a nice little parking spot. Maybe down some vittles, hit the road. Yeah. So, according to this, hopefully the tire thing will work this time. 37, 38, 36, 37. And that's with about a 10-kilometer trip getting here, so the tires are warmed up and ready to go. I can live with this. This is good. I currently have just over half a tank of gas, which is good for 313 kilometers. My plan is just to get through this part, get to a little town called Merritt, where they have a petrol can station, gas up, and probably get Prince George, maybe go all the way to Fort St. John. I don't know. First long trip in this vehicle. It's going to be interesting. Let's check out the satellite navigation. Let's go F-O-R-T space S-T space J-O-H-N. Done. We are searching. According to this, it is 718 kilometers from here. Set as destination. Calculating. According to this, 13 hours 46 minutes. Right now it is exactly 7:30 a.m. in the morning. Yeah, and I'm already tired.
The route guidance will start now.
Oh, it talks to me. Nice. So, how do I turn that off, I wonder? Nevertheless, did a light check last night. All my lights are working. High beams, low beams, daytime running lights, signal lights, fog lights, brake lights, and running lights. All my glass is good. Tires are good. Luggage is stowed right behind the seat below this camera, which is currently recording me right now. Yeah, that should be just about it. So, interior, you can't really see it from that particular angle. It's relatively clean. Just in case I have an absolute failure, a fully charged cell phone ready to go. All I have to do is turn the Bluetooth on to connect to that because I want to be as hands-free as possible. Worst case scenario, I lose absolute all power on everything. Old school navigation. Problem is, it does go out of date and terrible for updating. yeah, that about covers it. So the next time I'll probably be turning this on will be either near Merritt, or if something exciting happens along an open stretch of highway that I want to share with you, I'll click power, record, voila. So here we are outside of Merritt, and this is the Tourist Information Center. Now, at one point, this was a real hub of activity. There'd be a lot of RVs, trucks and trailers, and people mulling all about. But it's been closed now for a while. And in light of the COVID-19 situation that's gripped most of the world, yeah. Sadly, it's just done. So, Merritt 97C, which will be a left turn at this red light. Now, Merritt is, what do they call themselves? The country music capital of Canada, I think. There's been quite a few concerts here, some big names back in the day. Not one of them's popping into my head right now. I know they got a little country music walk of fame here. If memory serves, it's roughly about 10,000 people all in and around the area, so an interesting little drive through the town. Right now it's 9 degrees Celsius, and satellite navigation is trying to figure out which way I'm going because it has a route picked out that I really don't want to take. These 19-inch Coopers have been pretty good on the highway, you know, little frost heaves here and there, and little dips and dews, and it's absorbing it quite well. The ride hasn't been completely unbearable. Recalculating. I love messing with satellite. Yeah, you don't know which way I'm going, do you? You've got like one preset or two presets ways that I'm supposed to get to Fort St. John, and I don't like it. So. Road noise isn't too bad either. I don't know if you can hear it or not. It's a mild sort of drone, not too bad. It's enough to cancel out that noise I get in my ears. I hear absolute silence. I get that sound. I think a lot of people suffer from that. And of course, I've had the music up loud too, so I demonstrated to you right about now. But with all those copyright strikes that are floating around out there, no, let's not. And I've even used Shazam, which is a great app for Android. Come across the music, and just because it doesn't find it doesn't mean somebody would go, hey, that's mine, I must have that, you know, whatever revenue you're generating, fine. No, that's why most of my gameplay videos, there's no music in there as much as I possibly can help it. Forza 4 Horizon's really bad, you know, when you win the race they put that little music in there, even if you got the radio station turned off, that really annoys me. So that's why there's that dead air. Kind of try and edit in some copyright-free music. What a pain. So, you know, I'll just go dead air. That'll be the end of that. This Harman Kardon radio, or headset and speakers, I'm really impressed. So there we go. Home of the Centennials. Welcome to Merritt. Speed limit here is claiming to be 50. Coming down a little bit of a hill, or a gradual slope even. What do we got here? Roadrunner's Motel with the Roadrunner from Warner Brothers. Sushi. I don't see much sushi going on there. There's a Cal Tire. The mill off to the left here. Yeah, a few folks mulling all about. For a Tuesday morning, it doesn't look too bad. I think I said Monday earlier in the video, I'm not sure. I'm still tired from last night. My brain didn't quite let me go to sleep, so my eyes are a little dry and stingy. I think it was anticipation of the trip today that, yeah, I knew I was going to be behind the wheel for quite a long time. And I'm trying out eco mode. Up until now, I've been just driving in normal mode, which has absolutely no light. Right now I got this little green eco. See if I can conserve some gas, because the next place I want to go to for any kind of fuel and snacks and all that is just down the road about an hour-ish, called Cache Creek. Wow, I could walk faster than this. Like, we're doing 35 kilometers an hour. Up until now, on the highway, I've been doing a pretty good 70, 80 miles an hour, or about 110, 120 kilometers an hour. Well, closer to 130 if you actually do the math, right? So let's see, we'll just whip the horses a little bit here and get past this guy. So that city center down left that way. Yeah, it's a couple blocks long. Like, Merritt's not a very big town. It's definitely small town Canada. Petro Canada over here. Dealer of some guy. Murray Chevrolet Buick GMC. I still remember it was Pontiac Buick GMC. Oh. A little bit more downtown over there. Tropico Spice, a restaurant. Sure. And it looks like this road narrows up ahead. And we're breaking the speed limit by going 10 over the 50 posted. Well, if Merritt PD wants to pull me over and give me a ticket, I mean, come on. It's a quaint little town. Other than the mill, I really have no idea what the main driving force in keeping the town going is, but there you have it. Across the bridge, some people out for a walk. The Double D Inn. Okay. Looks like there's a cement or concrete place here. And now we're into the sagebrush and all that good stuff of North Kamloops, Cache Creek. And what's the sign say? Oh, we got the mine at Logan Lake, Spence's Bridge, and Ashcroft. You can still tell it's early in the morning for me. The mouth is not quite cooperating. And the sign says 80 kilometers is the maximum speed. We'll go along here for a little bit just to sort of give you a taste of what the highway's like. $2,000 fine for littering. Sure. Are you gonna dust it for prints to make sure it actually came from me? So you remember earlier, about an hour ago, when I stopped off at McDonald's? The coffee was, ooh, is that an old Chevy GMC? Nice. This coffee was so hot, took a sip, didn't click in right away that it was that hot, like, ooh! Like my tongue is just slowly recovering, and ergo why my speech is a little bit fuddled up. I asked for a double-double, and I think it just sank to the bottom. They don't know the fine art of stirring. For 80K, the road seems to be in pretty good shape. Once again, I don't know if you can hear it or not, but the road noise is actually quite manageable. It's probably on par with lowering your window about a quarter of an inch and the air coming in. That's about the equal type sound and what it sounds like, and the decibel level for loudness. Lots of garbage in the ditches. There was a case of Lucky Lager back there. Just empty cardboard packaging, but lots of interesting terrain out here. You got some rolling hills, you got some obviously worked over flat ground. I do love the mountains and the hills around here. It really adds sort of a majesty to the landscape. We're rounding the bend, and we've got Logan Lake and Ashcroft, 97C North, next right. And that's the road I want. I want to stay on the 97C until I get to Cache Creek. Then I should turn right and get back onto just the 97 and on my little way. If I remember right, this is a bit of a twisty road, but I am not yielding to nobody. So I just ended my trip on the 97C. Now I'm on the 97 Highway, Trans-Canada 1, coming up to Cache Creek. Because I always get that and Grand Cache confused, which is in Alberta, which is not even close to where I'm at right now. So we're just on the city outskirts, taking in the very western look of the environment, the sagebrush and the lightly dusted hills. Unfortunately, the rear view mirror's in the way, so you really can't take it all in, but you can sort of see around it. In fact, there'll be a couple curves here you'll be able to see, like this. Definitely a western dominant environment. It's up here in Canada, goes through like, I think Utah, Montana, parts of Arizona, like Monument Valley, stuff like that. This could so easily be the Crew or the Crew 2 with the way the environment is here. Both of those games did a really good job of capturing the look, the feel of the scenery. So the highway, as you can see, is really, really smooth going down this hill. Now we're coming up to a 70 sign, so we'll definitely back it down a bit. I'm just under a quarter tank of gas. I could probably make it to, I think it's 100 Mile House or Clinton. Yeah, no, there's a town. It's like a town that time forgot or is trying to forget. It's a quaint little community, don't get me wrong, but it's definitely stuck in a postcard, if you know what I mean. Now Cache Creek, I think, is roughly about the same size as Merritt, about 10,000 people here. The main industry around here, there's a mine, a little community just down the road called Logan Lake, so they might be working there. It's a copper mine. And I am looking for a Petro-Canada because the coffee's starting to get a little thin. I do have some growlies going on right about now. It'd be nice to throw maybe a couple taquitos down my throat and call it a day for a while. But I don't quite remember where it is in this town. It's been a while since I've been here. So I want this lane. I think it's at the edge of town on the left-hand side. It's got a Dairy Queen here. Once again, like all other small communities, has like a sushi bar. A lot of mom and pop outfits here. Oh, we have a Subway. We have traffic lights, which is always a good sign. You know, hungry something. We have a Chevy. There it is. I was totally wrong. It's on the right-hand side. I don't think it's a Petro-Can 7-Eleven, so. Nevertheless, we're pulling in there. We're going to top up the tank and see what they do have for drinks and munchies in the store. So we'll drive sensibly in. Hopefully we can find a decent pump. They have a restaurant, which I highly doubt is open in this COVID season. And we'll just squeak on through past the old F-150 here. That's a diesel, so we're probably pretty, yeah, we are good. So, catch you when I come back. So, just filled up $47 Canadian, and it gave me a range of 627 kilometers. According to navigation, I have 915 to go. I wonder. I really, really wonder. Seems a bit ambitious to me, but we'll see. We'll see. So we'll turn that way down, put the AC on for a while. leaving Cache Creek. Slightly, let's call it mostly cloudy. Got some blue spots poking in and out. But we still got this wonderful semi-arid terrain we're driving through right now with sagebrush. Some of the trees are still leafless, but it's a smooth road from probably here all the way up to about Prince George. There's going to be a few rough sections. What do we got up ahead? We have Clinton, and then the 70-mile house, 100-mile house, all the mile houses, some historic ranches. There's Lac La Biche. Once again, I always get the two confused. Too many Laclas, too many caches, too many creeks. What else? The highway seems to be quiet for the most part. There's some minor traffic. I'm trying to put on my cruise control, and of course, you know, still getting used to all the buttons. I haven't driven this thing much, so I'm still feeling my way around. So yeah, Clinton, 37K, 100-mile house, 109, Prince George, 440. Based on this with 627, you know, it's telling me I should be able to easily make Prince George, top up the tank there, and continue on to Fort St. John. So, once we round this corner here, the gloriousness of a 100-mile house. Nice one, shout. And we're still rounding the corner. Just a little more to go now. We're almost there. And we better slow down since we are approaching a 50 zone. Ta-da! The main drag. I have no idea what the population of a 100-mile house is. I'm going to lean towards, I'll say 7,000. It's hard to tell because it's pretty spread out. And there's the cop shop off to the right, Ford dealership, Sunrise Ford in fact. And the roads definitely have a few more potholes than the main highway does, so it's a little bit of a dodgeball here and there. Go grab this right-hand lane. So I do know that there was, we get a stoplight. The bustling metropolis. So there's a mill way off to the left over here. I think we do pass it on the, no, we don't pass it because the road goes that way. And the Mustang GT. Yeah, so this is pretty much it. The main drag goes right through, which is the highway. There's some nice old stuff. You can't see it right now, but there looks like about a 48 to 52 F1 Ford pickup. So we're doing 60 now, and I think it's, yeah, it's 50, so it's out. Oops. I know there was a 7-Eleven around here. I think it's off to the right here. Or did I drive by it? I probably just drove right by it. So I'm still just working on the drink part, and I still got a little bit of a growly on the situation here. A couple little bumps on the road. Oh yes, and a few more. Get ready for this. Actually, it absorbed it not too bad. It's still a little bit of a jarring, but yeah, I think that's where I wanted to go. No, I see the red bit. Is that a red line of a Petro-Can? Yes, that's a Petro-Canada. There's a Chevron. Ah! Oh, thank heaven. I don't even know if they use that as a slogan anymore or not. And let's see if we can just get in here without... Oh my god! That's not a pothole, that's a crater where a small meteor landed. Okay, so... Confucius say, can you do this? I don't know what's going on here, but let's see if we can just hook this in. I don't think I can park there, can I? Yeah, I can. Ha! No parking. Well, you know what? I'm only going to be in and out, so just give me a break. Well, I want to be in and out. Let's see if the social distancing in the crowded store will change that whole thing. So, back in a few. Much to my surprise, I was the only one in the store. Rapid service, I tell ya. Monterey Jack taquitos. Oh, wow. What an adventure this is turning out to be, and I'm not even, no, I'm about halfway there-ish, I think, geographically and time speaking. 9 hours, 39 minutes to go, 803 kilometers, assuming the navigation is remotely correct. So now, let's see if we can get out of here. And I got quite the navigation through pothole hell here. Yeah, a little bit of a wiggle. Just making sure that the suspension still works. We're going to massage things. Hidden four-way stop, a red Ram, a blue Ram, hey, an old Blazer. Oh, Trailblazer, my mistake, sorry. Built off the S10. Oh yeah, the Blazer was the little two-door. Yeah, because they called it a trail. Yeah, whatever. So there, see if we can make our escape out of 100 Mile House here. We have a green light, which is always go. Around the corner here. I think we're gonna have no choice but to take some bumps. Oh yeah, I'm far enough away. Just drive in front, whatever. If I floored it, you would have been. Yeah, a couple more bumps. Supposed to be a 50 zone. And we have Central, Chevy Buick GMC. And anything cool coming down the road? Well, we got a, looks like a 6 Series convertible. And now the hill out of town. And at this point, Williams Lake is 91 kilometers. Quesnel's 212, Prince George 335. According to this, I have 484. For range, I should make it with about 100 kilometers to spare. Well, 70, but I'm doing 80. Blue sky, eh? The clouds have gone from gray to white fluffy with little patches of blue showing through. Lac La Hache. Yeah, okay. So Lac La Hache is 26 kilometers away. I think I'm in a lane. I'm not exactly sure. The paint was kind of optional, I think, for this particular road this time of year. So there we go. That was a quick little stop in 100 Mile House for some vittles. Rid of the growly pain that I've had going on for a couple hours now. So a change of plans. I was going to go through Prince George and film that. I decided to go back to my hometown of Quesnel. Well, I have to go through here to get to Prince George anyway. But I thought it would only be fair that, you know, the first town I ever saw with my own eyes and lived in and drew breath and I got my mother to change my diapers, puked, scraped my knees, met a girl that I liked. Yeah, I should put it on the map first, so here I am. We just passed Dragon Lake, which is kind of like a subdivision of Quesnel. I don't know, I haven't lived here since 1980, and if you do the math, that's 40 years. So a lot of the town I do remember, because I've been back through here off and on over the years. But a lot of it has changed. A lot of it. And some of it stayed pretty much the same, with some minor facelifts. Like, when I left here, none of this was here. None of this. That mall wasn't here. This stuff wasn't here. Nothing was here. trailer park over there. That was here. Because one of my mother's friends used to live there. And we'd go over there and have coffee, watch TV, you know, just hang out. There is an A&W that I think it's on the other side of town. It's still there, but it used to be an old drive-in where you pulled up, you rent the menu board out your windshield. Somebody comes over with a tray, foil wrap burgers. Yeah, I remember that. Because, you know, I got the big mug of root beer. It made me so adult, you know. Yeah, so I figure I'd go ripping through this town, the camera rolling, take it in. I still have family here. My dad and my stepmother are here. I have 2 nieces. My sister, one sister, my oldest sister, who passed a few years ago, lived here. I miss you, Brenda. Never got that chance to have that talk with you. About a great many things. But life goes on. My one brother lived here up to a couple of years ago, and I think he moved away. But then I got cousins from at least one other uncle. And lots of family I've yet to meet through my stepmother's side, so it's kind of like a distant memory anchor being here, you know. I'm not connected to this town at all anymore, but I think if I were to fall on some really, really hard times, like it would take money to move here, I do think I would get some sort of support if I needed it. Or my family could get some support if we needed it, but it would definitely be a temporary measure because this town is totally reliant on the wood and pulp industry, and in British Columbia, it's taken a pounding. Lumber sales are just terrible. The pulp industry is starting to see a little bit of resurgence due to the fact of the need for masks during this COVID-19 pandemic, but for the most part, I don't know how this town is hanging on. Even tourism. Tourism is a huge part of Quesnel's very existence. But with COVID-19, really? However, I have seen enough motorhomes and motorcycles to think there's enough people out there that are ignoring it. So at least there's a couple of dollars rolling in for some folks. Right now it is 17 degrees and I've just been pulling out, just running it on outside air, not the conditioning, but just the air, and it's starting to get a little warm in here. So we'll pop that on. My trip update, I am 7 hours and 11 minutes, according to the in-car navigation, to Fort St. John. So that's still getting through Quesnel, Prince George, the Pine Pass, Chatwin, and then going up a little side road to get through Taylor, and then Fort St. John. So it also says 596 kilometers to go. I currently have 273 kilometers worth of gas left, so we'll fill up Prince George, get something to eat there. And we're coming in through the really, what we used to call the swanky part of town. And I really hope I can capture this, because around the corner is the old train station, which is still standing. But back then, when BC Rail was BC Rail, not a wholly owned subsidiary and absorbed entity within CN or Canadian National, right there's the train station. Used to have passenger service, and when I was a lot younger, we would actually jump on the train and ride it to Vancouver. Now I saw that. It's been a while since I've actually come through here to go to Prince George. So, and this part of town always confuses me. Okay, so not this lane, but wait, right lane must right turn. Okay, I don't want the right turn now. I want the arrow for Prince George. You can't see it because it's just out of camera view. Or you might have just caught a glimpse of it right over there. That used to be my school. So when I was in kindergarten, that's where I went to school. What's going on here? Oh, seriously? Let's see if we can just sneak a lane. I'm sure if somebody was there, my buzzer would go Go ahead. Hi. Do you notice I'm not doing anything and you're just... No? Don't know? Do know? Oh. Right. Okay. That walking bridge? When I was a kid, I was so terrified to go on that. Like, you're talking about a 3, 4, just about 5-year-old walking across that to get to downtown here so my mother could do business, because we didn't have a car when I was younger. And that's when I discovered vertigo. So I would look over the side of it, I'd see the water, moving water going by, and then all of a sudden it would manifest itself as movement within inside me, and I was like, oh, yeah, it wasn't good. I still have that to this very day, under select particular circumstances. Off over here, that's the G.R. Baker Memorial Hospital, where yours truly came into the world and drew breath and got a nurse to spank his ass for the one and only time in his life. Hey, set your goals and go for them. It's a lot bigger, but the original building is still there. I can see it quite clearly in there. Some parts of town have changed, like this building over here, all new. Most of this stuff on this side of the road is still the same. Like this Quality Inn, I can't remember what it was called back then. It's been here forever. It's an eternal fixture of the town. Mind you, it's got, you know, facelift. Yes. Hey! Ah, it does work. My frontal collision alarm, or warning, you know, the little radar. That was actually kind of neat. Now, a lot of this is still the same, like Super Safe wasn't a Super Safe. I don't know what it was back then either. I wasn't sure if you're going to run out in front of me or not. But a lot of these other buildings are. Queen's Cowboys riding by in their Ford Explorer. And a little bit of a frost heave in the road. And as you can sort of see in the background there, there's some of the mills. There's West Fraser, Cornell Pulp, and I think 1 or 2 others that are still sort of in operation. But when I was a kid, my window across the river faced over here. So whenever it got dark, they used to have these big, huge steel structures called beehive burners. So all the bark and the wood shavings and the stuff that they couldn't do anything with. I'm going to just stop for it. I know I could probably make it because it's going to turn yellow anyway. But let's be a little responsible here. You know, we are in our hometown. Set an example for the natives. But these big, huge beehive burners, and they would throw all this stuff in and just light it up, and it would glow all night. If you've ever seen the movie called Blade Runner, the original, I think, 1982 movie with Harrison Ford and Rutger Hauer, the sky glowed just like that. The way Los Angeles, the industrial section of LA in the future, glowed. It's kind of neat how you can make that connection in the memories. I also remember my first things was hearing a raven go caw, caw, caw. Wind rustling leaves in a tree. We had this big, huge poplar tree in the backyard. The one house I do remember very clearly living at. Just the subtle crackling sound of it that would make. And my first taste of snow. White snow. Not the yellow stuff. That would come much later. Yeah, so there's a quick burn through my hometown. It's only a nostalgic attachment to here. Once, during my adult life, I actually considered moving back here. This was before I met my second wife. Thought maybe I could just, you know, hole up with family and rebuild my life after the end of my first marriage. And I'm glad I didn't make that decision because my life wouldn't have turned out the way it has now. But it could have turned out a little bit different. Let's give a little bit, we're going to be irresponsible, we're leaving town anyway. Ding, 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 ding. There's the A&W I was talking about. That used to be a drive-thru. In fact, I don't know if you can see it, but to the right, where that open area was, where you actually drove up. been remodeled, obviously, but it's still in the exact same spot. And now, we're north to Prince George. Barkerville. That's a place I gotta get back to. I've only been there once, and I think I was below the age of 6. I don't remember much about it. There's a few pictures in a photo album that I hardly ever look at, but it was proof I was there once. I see this road's been recently redone, and as we're climbing out of the valley, back into the mountains, 7 hours, 1 minute to go, 267 kilometers worth of gas, and Prince George is 117 away. Well, there you have it. When am I going to fire up the camera again? I think I got enough battery power and space on that SD card for one big finale. Come back after the fade out and see where we wind up. Well, I just pulled off this side of the road and discovered that I only have 1 bar of battery life in the camera, so the grand finale is not going to happen. I am currently 410 kilometers of gas, because I filled up in Prince George, 263 kilometers away from Fort St. John, or 3 hours and 24 minutes. Best I can do is leave you with this mountain shot. If you can see around the rearview mirror. Hey, if you got any kind of and twice on Sunday. If you got any kind of entertainment value, education out of this video, by all means consider giving me a thumbs up, subscribing to my channel, leave comments in the section below. Next time, maybe